Hello, 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 hello. Facebook, everywhere I'm streaming, tailor-made training for you, FINP for my perfect non-judgmental people, Twitch, Twitter, my personal Facebook page. This is the No Judgment Zone with yours truly, Sean Taylor, discussing topics with no judgments, discussing topics with no judgments. We're talking about that mindset today. Oh man, your mindset. Okay. We're talking about the mindset. We're talking about a thing that people sleep on 24/7. We're talking about a thing that people don't even worry about. They don't train. They don't think about. They think about every resources than the thing that sits between their shoulders. This is what we're talking about. We're talking about something that I preach about and talk about daily, constantly to my clients. I email, I talk about this thing all the time. It's the biggest resource we have. It's the biggest resource that we have. And we constantly sleep on it. Listen, before I get into it, before I dive deep into this stuff, if there's anything that I'm saying that you do not agree with, you are entitled to that. You're entitled to think and feel however you choose to think and feel. This isn't a show about judgments. This is not a show about picking people or things or situations or circumstances apart. This is a show of 100% true transparency. But the biggest thing, if you get nothing out of anything that I say, just the title of the show, the No Judgment Zone, discussing topics with zero judgment, no judgments at all. It's not an argumentative show. It's not a show to go back and forth. It's not that type of show. It is not that type of show. It is different on purpose. It is non-judgmental on purpose. There's a reason why the show is titled The No Judgment Zone. There may be some things that there may be conflicting topics that you don't like to discuss. But this show is created in the memory of my mother. She's the person who taught me about being judgmental and the reason why it's important and it's extremely beneficial to be non-judgmental. You know, when you're non-judgmental, people are more prone to come and talk to you. They're more prone to come and share information with you because they know no matter what you tell them, you're not going to act different with them Monday through Sunday. I was just talking to a friend today, and I was letting them know, and they've heard me say it before, I'm going to tell you, if you want anything to work, if you want any friendship to last, if you want any marriage to last, if you want whatever you want to last between you and the woman or whatever the case may be, you can't be in that thing with judgments, man. What judgments does, let me tell you what judgments do. It hinders people from being their real selves with you. It hinders them from even coming to talk to you or tell you anything, period, because they already know what you're going to say. You've judged them multiples of times, so they're not going to open up to you no more. It creates distance. It puts a wedge between you two. And no matter what dynamic that the situation is or what relationship that you may have with that person, it prohibits that person to be their real self with you because you constantly judge them. And the title of this show is that your mindset sets the tone daily. People sleep on that all the time. They sleep on that before they sleep on that as they wake up, brush their teeth, put their clothes on, eat breakfast, walk out that door. Their mindset ain't even in check. And they wonder why when situations and circumstances and things happen to them throughout the start of their day, you have not put your mindset on the right channel of frequency. You have not set your mind up for success. And I started getting deep in my mindset, pretty much really deep into it, my late 30s. I realized that was a source. It was such a powerful source that sets the tone for everything. There was a time when they told me I was going to lose my left leg. True story. Gangrene was sitting in. They were debriding it. They said it's got to heal from the outside, the inside out. They said, you're going to lose that leg. Mr. Taylor, be prepared. Be prepared. And I was in my 20s. They said, be prepared to lose that leg. When you get bad news about yourself, and it hits right here in black and white. And let me tell you how powerful the mind is. I rehabbed myself for 9 months. I rehabbed myself. I taught myself how to walk without the limp. I gained the strength in that leg that they said that I probably was going to lose. I had to take my mind to a dark place. It wasn't a dark place of negativity. It was a dark place of positivity. I had to take my mind to a place and to say to myself, right now, in this setting that you're in, Sean, you all you got. You ain't got no help. You ain't got your mama here. You ain't got your brother here. You ain't got no woman here. You ain't got no friend here. You are the only person who's going to be able to pull yourself out of this gutter. Now, you got one or two things you can do, Sean. You can sit here and waddle in your self-pity. Sit here and waddle in the mistake that you created. Sit here and have the "oh, woe is me" attitude, or you can pull yourself up out of this out of this garbage, out of this cesspool, out of this bad situation, and turn this thing around. First, by programming this. I don't walk with a limp. Squat, lunges, everything. Have some residual nerve damage in that leg. But the whole thing, the whole basis of me telling you this, they told me I may lose that leg. Didn't go to nobody's rehab center. I was the rehab center. You have to understand how your mindset sets the tone for whatever situation, circumstance, problem that you're going through. But when you are not in tune with who you are, when you're not in tune with this, when you're dependent on everything else out there, the number one resource that sits in between your shoulders, it's not a surprise to why you have not overcome those obstacles, because you refuse to tap into your cerebral. You refuse. You're depending on everything else. The number one reason why people fail on a fitness journey, because they think fitness is 99% physical and 1% mental. Fitness is 99% mental, 1% physical. Everything you deal with in this life, it's all mental. But you're pulling out every resources from here. You're pulling the wrong resources when the resource that sits in between your shoulder, where you got so much strength from, you refuse to tap into. It's mental. The relationship you're in, marriage you're in, it's mental. The problems you may have or the problems you have with people, it's mental. Your attitude, mental. Negativity, mental. Positivity, mental. Everything is mental. And we sleep on that all the time. If your listen, people, listen, please listen. If your mind ain't right, the rest don't matter. Let me say that again. If your mind ain't right, the rest don't matter. That's why it's so important to when you go through life-changing experiences, things that you're battling with, but that you don't even know how to control, that you get that mind in check. A lot of us are holding, man, this thing is deep. A lot of us are holding on to things, right? A lot of us are holding on to things that's keeping good things from coming into fruition because we refuse to get our minds in check. A lot of us are getting the same people over and over and over and over again because we refuse to get our mind in check. If you want something different, if you want something extraordinary, if you want something phenomenal, if you want something mind-blowing, you have to open up your mind. If you do, and I've said it before, one of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein, man, y'all don't hear me. If you do what you've always have done, you're going to continue to get what you've always have gotten. It's inevitable. Everything goes right back to your mind. When you wake up in the morning, before you walk out that door, go on that job, go to that gym, go see that trainer, whatever the case may be, your mind's got to be in check. Because whatever door or building that you walk into, you're going to carry that negative or positive mindset with you. Your workout's going to be garbage. When people say, oh, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. But you got to take your mind to a place to withstand it and not let it beat you. Yeah, the exercise is hard, but you got to take your mind to a place that you refuse to let that defeat you. Yeah, that divorce is difficult, but you got to take your mind to a place to overcome that divorce. Yeah, when people do you wrong, stab you in the back, whatever it is, you got to take your mind to a place that I'm going to get past this. But when you take your mind to a place that I'm going to get past this, you're not having I'm going to get past this attitude. You're not going to have I'm going to get past this resentment attitude. I'm going to get past this negative attitude. I'm going to get past this that everybody owes me something attitude. No. You have to have a positive attitude in order to get past that obstacle, in order not to succumb to those issues or those problems. Your mindset sets the tone every single day, Monday through Sunday. You go on that job, everything's in disarray. Your mindset sets the tone in reference to everything that's in disarray. Somebody's got to be the calm one. Someone's got to be the serene person. Someone's got to be the mature person. You have to step up in the midst of stupidity and ignorance and plumb dumbness. You have to set the example and the standard. How do you do that? It's your mindset. How do you go from an idea, right? And you have an idea, but how do you breathe life into that idea to make it a reality? It's all right here. When you have nobody believing in you, no one supporting you, no one following you. My mom said it best, and I've taken that with me since I was a teenager. She's been telling me this since I was a teenager. She said, it doesn't matter, Sean, who believes in you. It doesn't matter who has left you. It doesn't matter who has walked away from you. It doesn't matter who supports you. It doesn't matter who is constantly there for you or not. What matters at the end of the day, Sean, is that you believe in you. I don't worry about who has left. I don't worry about who doesn't support. I don't worry about who don't talk to me. That's good. If they ain't talking to me, if they don't want to deal with me, the big man upstairs has cut that cancer off, so he doesn't want it to spread nowhere else. So thank you for not talking to me. Thank you for not supporting me. Thank you for cutting off communication from me, because you have catapulted me into a better place. And also, my mindset ain't gonna let me worry about whether you are believing in me, supporting me, or there for me. Because you don't know what I've been through. You don't know the journey I've traveled. Let me tell you something, man. You have no idea the boost of confidence that feels when you are told that you're gonna lose a limb and you rehab yourself back to health. That's a powerful thing. And when I did that, there was nothing in this life I knew that I could not overcome by tapping into this mindset. I could be down on one freaking knee, crying in pain, in agony, defeat. I'm going to get myself up and I'm going to overcome that thing and I'm going to win that fight. It's easy to just throw in the towel or something. That's what cowards do. That's what the weak do. They hide behind cowardness and weakness. And they got whatever excuse that they pull out of their rectum of the reason why I gave up and reason why I quit, reason why I walk away. Listen, you can mind screw yourself to believe your BS every single day. The only person that's believing and buying in it is you. Fighters, true fighters, quitting is not an option for them. True fighters, giving up ain't even an option for them. It's not even a last resort for them. Persevering through is the only way for them. No matter how long it takes, they ain't got a timeline on it. I got to do this. How am I going to do this? I got to set the tone with my way of thinking. How does a person go from an idea to a Fortune 500 company? How does a person go through idea from going to working a 9-to-5 to working for themselves? How does a person do that? They do that by this. People look at a person who's a entrepreneur and say, I could never do that. You already dead in the water because you've already confessed that you'll never be able to do that. But how does an idea that comes from nothing, it's built up and life is breathed into it? It's because of how that person thinks. That's the only way. There's no other way that it's going to come. You have to set the tone of your mind daily. You have people that are holding on to stuff that they've been holding on all their life. And they just can't let it go. The reason why? They haven't trained their mind to get them out of that situation and to get them out of that old way of thinking. People start a fitness journey and they'll quit. It ain't nothing else. They'll say it's life stuff. Oh, life stuff, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. Life stuff don't last 4, 5, 6, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years. After that little life situation happens, why didn't you restart again? You have a mediocre mindset. You have a quitter's mindset. You have I just give up mindset, or I'll get to it when I get to it type mindset. People fail in fitness because of their way of thinking. There's no other reason. People don't lose the weight because of their way of thinking. People start stuff and never finish it because of their way of thinking. People have so much greatness of creativity in them, and they want to start their own business, but the one thing that stops them is their level of thinking. People can have the most perfect person in front of them, right? Close to perfection. And the reason they don't move forward with that person is because of their way of thinking. They think everybody's going to hurt them. They think everybody's going to do something to them. They think everybody's got an agenda. Everybody's got a motive. Everybody's against them. That's their way of thinking. You have to, in order to change things in your life, you have to change your mindset. If you want better, you got to change your thinking. If you want to get your body to the next level, you got to change your way of thinking. If you really want to start eating right, you want to change your way of thinking. If you got nemesis that is ice cream and sweets and candy, and you want to change that, you have to change your way of thinking. If you keep saying to yourself, I'm tired of being fat, you have to change your way of thinking. I'm tired of being overweight. You have to change your way of thinking. I want to gain some muscle. You have to change your way of thinking. I want somebody that's going to do right by me in a relationship or whatever. You have to change your way of thinking. You can't try to live a positive life with a negative mindset. That is never going to work. You hear people all the time talk a good positive game, but why that positive game isn't being moved up and going to the next level? Because they have a negative mindset. You can't have 1 foot in negativity and 1 foot out on positivity. No, you either in or out. You're either in or you're out. There's no you can't be in both worlds. You can't be in negativity and positivity. The difference between positive people and negative people. Positive people have negative thoughts. Positive people have problems just like negative people do. Positive people have setbacks just like negative people do. Positive people fall short just like negative people do. Positive people make mistakes just like negative people do. The difference between positive people and negative people is their way of thinking. They know it's not always going to be like this. They program in their mind. They tell themselves mentally, we're going to change this thing around. I'm not always going to be 300 pounds. I'm not always going to be alone for the rest of my life. If you want to get married again, you have to keep saying it until it comes into existence. You know you can speak things into existence. You have power by your words. You condemn and justify what comes out your mouth. When you see things constantly happen to people, watch how they speak. Watch how they think. If you want to know the mindset of a person, watch what comes out of here. It'll tell you all about how this is. Watch what a person is impressed by. It'll tell you how that is. That's just it. If your mind ain't right, the rest don't matter. If you're not working on self-improvement, you ain't trying to get your mind right. You're okay with it being mediocre. And that's why higher elevation of change isn't taking place in your life. You have to let go of those things that are hindering you and holding you back. The resentment, the bitterness, the judgmental stuff, you got to get that out of here, man. That quitter's mentality, you got to get that out of here. You got to change the way your mind thinks. You have the power to reprogram your thinking. I posted something in the story, and I love it. And it's about being comfortable in discomfort. It's pretty dope, man. It's dope. It's dope. It's pretty dope, man. And a lot of people, the day you find comfort in discomfort is the day you become unstoppable. The day you find comfort in being the day you find comfort in discomfort, you become unstoppable. That's being uncomfortable on purpose. When you find content and just being comfortable in being uncomfortable, you become a powerful, unstoppable, unmoving force. A lot of y'all don't believe that. You can think of anything in your life right now today, November 5th, 2021, anything, any subject, any topic, any situation, any circumstance, any obstacle, and it has all to do with your mindset. Mindset is everything in every area of your life. Mindset is everything. People don't believe that. They pulling from other resources from this and this and this and this, and that has nothing to do with change. Changing your mind changes your life. But you have to grow and learn how to be comfortable in moments of discomfort in order to become powerful. You ever been in a situation you see things it's in total chaos and mayhem and everybody going crazy, and you got one person over there just cool as a cucumber, calm as peaceful water? You know why? It's their mindset, and they've learned how to be comfortable in discomforting situations. They're relaxed. They're telling you, be cool. Just be cool. We gonna be all right. See, when you're discombobulated, freaking out, just spazzing out, think about it. When you're going through all this stuff and you're just freaking out and you're just going crazy and you're just losing it, how are you thinking calm with a sense of clarity in that moment when you're freaking out, going crazy? You can't. It's impossible. You got to calm yourself down. You have to get your mind to a place as if you were meditating. Get it relaxed. Be cool, be calm, so you can think about the current situation to get yourself strategically out of it. You can't think clearly in chaos and mayhem when you're yourself going crazy. You have to calm down, breathe easy, fall back on cool so you can think that situation through. Even in uncomfortable situations, don't let nobody steal your cool. Don't let the situation steal your cool. Don't let the problem steal your cool. Don't let the person steal your cool. Don't let adversity steal your cool. Challenges steal your cool. Don't let it steal your cool. You just got to be cool, cool. You just got to be cool, cool. You just got to be cool, cool. If you want something better, if you want a better man and that you've had in your past, you got to change your thought process. You got to change the thought process that every man is no good. You got to change the thought process that every man just want to get in your pants and that's all they want from you. You got to change your thought process from that ex that you can't get out your head. That totally just did you wrong. You got to change your way of thinking. If you don't change your way of thinking, you're not making room for better to come in because you have not changed your way of thinking. You have to change your attitude. You have to have a sense of humbleness. You got to lose the society type attitude. You have to lose the society mindset. You got to lose being impatient. You got to have a microwave mentality. You got to lose those things in order to get yourself and to catapult yourself into better in every area of your life, personally or professionally. You have to learn how to change your way of thinking. You are the person who makes or breaks your day. Your mindset for that day will make or break your day. How do you sleep for 8 hours and you wake up automatically mad? Who does that? People do that, and that's crazy. You got to change your way of thinking. My mom used to tell me in worse situations, I remember I was locked up and she came and she said, you know what? I know you may think you're at rock bottom right now. And I know you may think you may feel lesser than spit right now. But trust me when I tell you, son, the situation you in right now could be worse. And you know, at that time, being in that situation, looking at her through plexiglass, I didn't want to hear that. And she said, I know you don't want to hear this right now. But when you go back to your cell, you take your mind to a place of calmness and peace with no worryation. You take your mind to a place of comfort in a discomfort situation and be calm. She looked me in the face. She didn't bat an eye. She said, you are going to get out of this. It's something amazingly powerful when a person has a powerful, positive mindset of faith. Those type of people, and I'm in a total different bracket. A total different bracket. And when I walked out of that situation, I remember seeing the judge. I was in a wheelchair, 6 months later, 7 months, 8 months later, he saw me. I was walking. No doctor did that. No physical therapy did that. That's all on me and the big man upstairs. You can't tell me that you can't overcome impossibilities. You can't tell me that your mindset can't overcome what people say you can't do. You can't tell me that you can't be to a place where everybody in the world has given up in you and thrown in the towel. And you don't worry about proving them wrong. You are worried about proving yourself right. So you got to take your place. You got to take that mindset to a place of darkness. And when I say a place of darkness, you got to understand where I'm going. I'm not going to a place of negativity. But you got to take yourself to a place of darkness to where you can't hear nothing. And you got tunnel vision and blinders on to the nonsense. And you totally block out the noise. The problem why people can't get past certain things because they can't meditate and block out the noise. You have to train your mind way more than you train anything else. I have clients, right? I said, there's one thing I can never, or no other trainer could do for you. We can't listen to what your body is telling you. The reason we can't listen to what your body is telling you, because we are not in your body. You're in that shell of a body. Sean can listen to what Sean's body is saying. You have to listen to what your body is telling you. And this, when you are mentally in tune with yourself, you understand your purpose of why you're doing what you're doing. You understand your value of why you're doing what you're doing. You have enough self-love of why you're doing what you're doing, and you're mentally sound and you're mentally in tune with yourself. You know when something is not right with your body because you're mentally in tune and mentally sound of yourself. You can listen to what your body is saying. If I tell you, okay, I want you to do chest flies, chest presses, tricep extensions, I want you to give me some walkouts, some plank raises, some burpees. I want you to give me some plank to push-ups. Okay, but first we're going to start out with front lateral raises, side lateral raises. We're going to start out with those. How much should I lift? Don't ask me that. What is your body telling you? It's simple. It's like 1 + 1 = 2. You can lift up something, like I'm lifting up this remote. My body is telling me this remote is light as a feather. I can go over there and lift up a 50-pound dumbbell, and my body is telling me, oh, there's some weight to this bad boy. Your body would tell you what's too light and what's too heavy. So why are you turning around asking somebody else what's too light and what's too heavy? You get the gist of what I'm saying? You have to be mentally sound. You see what I'm saying? And see, when you're mentally sound and when you are in and you are in tune, and when you know how powerful the mind can be, a person can be diagnosed saying, hey, you got 6 months to live. And they so mentally sound and they so deep into their cerebral that they are programming their mind. As soon as they get the news, we finna turn this nonsense around. We not listening to this fool. We gonna do our due diligence on our end. But me and my mind, we've been rocking a long time. And I know what I've overcome. And if I overcome those things, I'm gonna overcome this. I'm gonna overcome this. And you automatically start training your mind right then and there, all throughout the day, every single day. You start training your mind, you start training your mind, you start training your mind, you start speaking it, you start believing it, you start feeling, you start seeing it. So things start to change based off of your thought process. Why people fail in fitness is because they have not come to the conclusion of the perfect formula that the body follows the mind. The mind don't follow the body. Don't get it twisted. The body follows the mind. If your mind is in a positive place, the mind is like, okay, this is what we got to do. The mind is just, it's just constantly going. This is what we got to do. The body's going to follow. As the mind goes, the body's going to follow, and change is going to follow behind it. As the mind go, the body's going to follow, and the weight's going to come up. As the mind go, the body's going to follow, and the inches going to drop. As the mind go, the body's going to follow, and you're going to start looking better in your clothes. And before you know it, a year from now, 2 years from now, you're looking phenomenal, naked. But everything starts and ends with your thinking. You set the tone and where you want your mind to go. That's how you see people in their 50s looking better than people in their 30s and 20s. That's why you see people in their 60s looking better than people in their 30s and 20s. There are people who are beating the odds, but how they're beating the odds is because of the way they think. It's simple. But you can preach mindset to people 24/7, 365 days a year, every second on a minute, every minute on the hour, and they still don't get it. They're not trying to get it. Like the old people used to say back in the day, you can lead a horse to the water, but you cannot force that horse to drink that water. Period. You can lead people through the door in a gym and personal training studios, but you can't force them to be intense. You can't force them to be consistent. You can't force them to eat right. They got to want to. They got to be hungry and thirsty for change. But that mind got to be aligned in the right place in order for everything to fall into place. And it's just not in fitness, it's in your personal life too. That relationship is topsy-turvy, it's rocky. You got to change your mindset. How do I change my mindset? Take judgments out your relationships. Take judgments out of it. Stop picking him or stop picking her apart. Stop making them feel less of a man and less of a woman. How does that start? How does those changes come into fruition? You have to start changing your mind. You want to look back and have 15, 20, 25, 30 years with a person? How do you get there? Change the way you think. Change how you move. Stop playing checkers and start playing chess. Know what your powerful piece is. Know what the most powerful piece you have on the board and use it to your advantage strategically. Stop being a pawn in the chess game. A lot of y'all are pawns in the chess game we call life, and you don't even recognize it or see it. You have become accustomed to basic for so long, you don't even know what above average looks like, feels like, or smells like, because you've been accustomed to basics so long. Now you have to unravel yourself and deprogram. It's what it's like, and this is exactly what it's like. It's like wiping your hard drive strictly clean. That's what it's like. Your hard drive is your cerebral, your mind. You have to wipe that thing. You have to put everything in the recycle bin. You do. And until you do that, you're going to keep getting the basic things that you're accustomed to. Why? Because you're comfortable. You're comfortable. I don't know why people don't like to be challenged. They fold when it comes to adversity. They don't want to grow. Growth, mental growth doesn't never come from a place of comfort, people. Mental growth never comes from a place of comfort. You have to be uncomfortable for growth, to start happening. And you have to do it deliberately. You have to know, yeah, this is going to be hard, but I'm up for the challenge. I'm not going to bitch up because it's challenging. I'm not going to bitch up because he ain't acting right. I'm not going to bitch up because she ain't acting right. I'm too invested. I gotta get my head right. I gotta get my mind right. If it's what you want, if it's what you really want, then change that negative mind to a positive, optimistic mind. Stop making checkers move and start making strategic chess moves. Stop picking people apart. Get off your high horse and come down amongst the natives and realize, hey, you're just one of us like everybody else. But you got to change the way you think. If you went through things in your life and you're not getting the self-help or the self-improvement that you need, how do you expect your mind to get better? Everybody is waiting on, I'm waiting on a big man. I'm waiting on a big man that says to do this. He's giving you so many outlets and resources. You're not using them. You're not trying to get your mind into a better place. Because you think you just think you can do it. Your mind, I'll tell you something, people. Your mind, you have to, seriously, you have to take it to a place that you really don't want to go. It's going to be uncomfortable. It's not going to be rainbows and sunshine there. It's going to be a lot of rain, sleet, cold. It's going to be the weather that you don't even want to deal with, but you got to go through it. It's just going to make you better. It's going to make you more well-rounded. How can you help anybody who is going through something if you run from everything that you've encountered? There's no toughness in you. There's no fight in you. Your MO is to quit and run when things get tough. That's your MO. You're accustomed to running. You are accustomed to running. Miss Reed says, they need to stop picking them apart and comparing them to your ex. Each person is unique and brings something different to the table. This is right. This is right. So Miss Reed says they need to stop picking them apart and comparing themselves to your ex. Each person is unique and brings something different to the table. I tell people all the time, every person is born with, no person has the same fingerprint to the next. You can't go from one ex to a new thing and you're comparing the two. Everybody's unique, so you're not going to have the same person twice. Every person's unique. You got to understand that. Ms. Reed says they are going to miss out on the whole blessing because their mind isn't right. Well, you're going to miss out on the whole blessing because your mind ain't right. You're going to miss out on the whole blessing because you stuck. And you think that's all the life is. If you think you can't get no better than what you got already, you're highly disillusioned. The quitters will always quit. Miss Reed. Miss Reed just be commenting, boy. It's good stuff. The quitters will always quit. My mom used to tell me, she's like, I didn't raise you to be no quitter. Quitters always quit. I mean, that's the MO. That they haven't just they just weren't woken up being a quitter. They've quit on so many things all their life. That's all they know how to do. And then a quitter gives themselves, they justify why they quit and they give themselves excuses. How you justify give yourself excuse to quit? I mean, I don't understand that. Most times a perceived loss is really a gain. Hey, sometimes the loss is the upgrade. Sometimes the loss is the upgrade. Sometimes the loss is the upgrade. Now that you've lost that piece on the chessboard, let's see. Let's say you are a row from, you had your pawn that was about to get on the other side to become a queen. Now the queen is the most powerful piece on the chessboard. The queen can move anyway, horizontal, vertically, how many moves it want. The queen is dangerous. The queen on the chessboard is dangerous. Now I get my pawn right there, and I'm about to go, and the king takes my pawn. So now I have to re-strategize, not get frustrated and quit. Now I got to dig deep, to think deeper, be like, okay, now I got to do this another route. Okay, what are the pawns I got? How close can I get? Now I'm going to maneuver around. Now I'm going to just re-strategize everything. I'm going to change the whole chessboard around, and I'm going to use my powerful, I still got my other queen now, so I'm going to use my queen to take them out because they pretty much are defenseless. They holding on by a thread. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take out the rest of that army with that one queen. I got a knight over here. I got the rook over there. Okay, I can do. Got the bishop over here. I can do some. Say the bishop just moves this way. Bishops is all right. But that knight moves in that L form. That knight pretty powerful too. So I'm gonna go collaborate with my knight. I got two knights and I got one queen. We finna get over there, so I'm finna make a hole for that pawn to get over there so I can get another queen, so we go ahead and just demolish this thing. And before you know it, it's gonna be checkmate, game's over. Sean wins. Just because you've had a piece taken away from you don't mean you can't re-strategize and come at a different direction and get something better than that piece that was taken away from you. Anybody who understands the dynamic of chess, who knows how to play chess, knows the chess verbiage that I'm speaking of right now. The hardest person I ever played chess against was my brother. Man, that Negro is good. He real good. That boy good. He good. He's good. There's a picture, man, of me and my brother at my mom's place. We sitting there meditating on the chessboard. I gotta find out, and if I find out, I'm a post it. Two great competitive minds going back and forth with that chessboard. He won. I ain't finna sit up here. You know what? Yeah, he won. He's good. My brother is good. But playing him, because he was better than me, made me a better chess player. Playing that joker, because he was really good, I'd go out there and spank some people in some chess. But I love chess. Why do I love chess so much? Because it's a thinker's game. You ain't just going out there just moving around the police. I ain't even got to think when I play checkers. Checkers is boring to me because I really don't have to think. Chess, what I love about it, you got to study the board. You got to anticipate moves. As he is thinking, you are thinking If he moves this way, I'm going to counter this way. If he moves that way, I'm going to counter this way. It forces you to think. A lot of people don't like to think. That's why when they come across with somebody from a different mindset, they scratch their head like, oh, man, this dude, what that person is doing, and it's good that they're in your life now because they're going to challenge you to elevate your way of thinking. They're going to challenge your thinking every single time. When you say something crazy, they're going to be looking at you sideways like, you know that don't make no sense. How? Let me show you a different direction. Oh, man, I never thought about that. Changes your perspective. But you have to be open-minded. Closed-minded people are limited because they see things one way. They have no layers to them. They are one-dimensional. Period. They just got one good move. That's it. They're easy to figure out. They're non-interesting. They're... So, what's intriguing by a person who truly thinks, they're going to challenge you to think. They're going to challenge you to level up. And you're going to do one or two things. When people who think deeply, one or two things going to happen with you and them. You either going to level up with them or they're going to leave you behind. You either going to level up with their thinking and as you being challenged to level up, you're going to stick with them. Or you're going to be left behind. Because their thinking is limitless. In order to get to a limitless way of thinking, you have to be able to step up to the plate and willing to be ready for the challenge. And be excited. It's like, man, I just learned something new today. I never knew that. Man, that's awesome. And you're eager to learn. I had somebody say to me, and I thought it was dope. I just thought it was dope. It was like, sometimes you'll post, you'll say something, and I'll go and look up what that meant. That's a person who was trying to elevate their way of thinking. That was dope. That was dope. And they told me, it's like, dude, you such a deep thinker. If that person ain't on their level, they're going to be left behind. They're going to be left behind. They're going to be left behind because they're not trying to elevate up. That happens in all different situations. When people are growing, when people... Sorry about that, y'all. That was my son. I'm going to have to call him back. He's going to probably call again. So anyway, you got to be able to not be afraid to have your thinking challenged. Not be afraid of learning. So I had a slow learning disability. Okay. Had to have tutors and stuff at the school and all this stuff. A lot of people don't know this. He used to think I was dumb or whatever. I just grasped the concept of things slower than others. But just because it was slow, I wasn't afraid of the challenge. I was like, no, I'm gonna get this. I may be a little slow, but I'm gonna catch up. And then I started self-educating myself. I started challenging my mind. I started to open it up, and then all of a sudden things just started, boom, they would start to click. Things just started to make sense. And I was like, oh man. But there was one, it's like almost like a part of the brain that was just pretty much shut down or shut off because I was afraid of not knowing. Don't be afraid of not knowing. Be afraid of not being willing to learn. That's what you need to be afraid of. A person who's not willing to learn, a person you can't tell them nothing, they limit. They seal, and they've already reached their ceiling. There's nothing you could do for them. But a person who is willing to learn, the sky's the limit for them, man. They have no ceiling because they have a hunger, desire, a thirst, and an eagerness to learn. They want to learn. The best clients I've ever had is the clients that question me about this. Why? This. Hey, Sean. They'll text me. Hey, da. That client right there is going to reach their goal, and they're going to surpass it because they have a willingness and eagerness and hunger and a thirst to learn. Because they know in their mind, Sean can't train me for the next 20 years. I got about 10 more years, and then I'm done. 10, that'll be 35 years in the fitness journey. I'm done after 10. I'm done after 10. And I'm moving on to the next journey. That's it. I don't care what's going on. I don't care what it is. 10, I'm done. I'm done. 10. That's all I got left. I got 10. I got 10 in me. I ain't got no more after that. It may be 8. Heck, it may be 7. You never know. Whatever the big dude got, whatever the big man up there got for me. I mean, I never know. It may be 5. You never know. Because you never know what's coming. That's the most beautiful thing about from one day to the next day. You ever hear people's like, oh, it's Monday. It's Monday. Monday. I'm trying to understand. I'm like, okay, it's Monday. You had a measly Saturday and a Sunday off. Monday been coming around for at least 50 years in your life. Why are you still whining that it's Monday? You have to change that thing around and get excited about the unknown. People are afraid of the unknown. People don't want to do the unknown. People don't want to do Mondays. Guess what? When you complain about Mondays, that's a mindset. You've been doing that for years. So when you're ready to get rid of that basic mindset, you'll start turning that around and you'll start getting excited for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You just will be excited just to wake up and open your eyes the next day. Be excited for life. Be excited about what it's going to bring because you never know. That's the excitement from day to day. You never know what it's going to bring. Get excited. Oh, it's Monday. Man, it's been Monday for the last 50 years, dude. Monday's always come around. Why are you still whining about Monday? Why you got a sourpuss attitude about Monday? You think it'll always be worse? You cannot have a job. You cannot have a dollar coming in. You cannot have a car. You cannot have a roof over your head, clothes on your head. You could be out there in the elements, sleeping, living off the land, and the cover out there in the cold is cardboard boxes. My mom used to always say, Sean, things can always be worse. And if you look at it at that type of perspective, you would complain less. So as I talked to her behind that plexiglass, and when she told me things would be worse, I went back and I sat and I meditated on what she said. And she left me with this. She said, Sean, things could be worse. You could be on death row. Things could be worse. That leg could be amputated. She put things in such a positive perspective that it immediately, when I went back, I started changing my perspective little by little. It wasn't an overnight thing. Because change is a marathon, not a sprint. Just like fitness is a marathon, not a sprint. You can't go into fitness with a microwave attitude, microwave mentality. You can't go into fitness with a cookie cutter approach. You can't go into fitness and acting like you run the show or you pay the bills up in that joint. You can't go into fitness like, you going up there trying to you gonna get your respect. No, buddy, you got to earn the respect with the work. You got to earn the respect with the consistency. You got to earn the respect and get some time up under your belt. Until then, listen here, Rook. This is what you're gonna do. This is how you're gonna do it. And respect isn't just not automatically given to you when you've been outside this fitness game. You just coming in. Respect is earned. And respect is earned through your consistency. It's like a rookie going on a team. Bow down to you. Man, you new on the team, dude. No. You're going to have to earn that. Show me the work. Then you'll get my respect. You got to show it in months of consistency, though, in order for me to respect you. If you quit, I'm like, all right, you just do what everybody else do. You use fitness as a revolving door. And that's why your body is never going to get to where it needs to be, because you have not changed your mindset. You have not changed you refuse to change your way of thinking. It's not the exercise. Hell, it ain't even the money. It's always the mindset of why people don't accomplish their goals when it comes to their body in the fitness realm. It ain't never going to change. That is always the reason. You can gas everybody up and say it's something else. You can say it's life stuff and say, no, it's not. It's your mind. Your mind is crippling you because you refuse to change the channel to a different frequency. And until you change the channel in your mind to a different frequency, your body is going to continue to look like melted ice cream. Your body is going to, you're going to continue, your body fat is going to keep rising. Your face going to keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger because you're eating yourself into oblivion. You have to change your mind in order to change your life, in order to change your body, in order to change your relationship, in order to change that marriage. You got to change your mind. And if you're not willing to change your mind, please don't expect for nothing. Zero. Nothing in your life is going to change until you change that mind from negative to positive. To I can't to I can. To I won't to I will. From inconsistency to consistency. From motivation to being driven. From motivation to being determined. From motivation to being relentless. From motivation to be like, you know what? To discipline. Motivation is not going to help you get your fitness goals. Motivation, it's just, you feel good. I hear people, I've had people, and I'm going to start up with you, Sean, in a week. I'm going to go home and, change some things and I got to go and do this and I go this, and you never see them again. Their mind wasn't right the day they was talking. They was talking a good game. But people that know they ready can have a slight bit of doubt. Be like, okay, Sean, consultation. They signing on the dotted line day one. That's a person who knows what they want. And they like, I just have to figure out the rest later. That's determination. That's a mindset. I don't know how. I just got to fit this in my budget somehow. I'm going to make this happen because my health is more important than anything else. And I see the value of my body getting better. I see the value of me losing the weight. I see the value of breaking down my body fat into a healthy zone. I see the value of looking better in my clothes. I see the value of looking good naked. I see the value. A lot of people don't see the value. And they are putting a price tag on their health. And that's exactly why they look the way they look. It's like I said before. You'll never hear nobody, I'm calling to see, what restaurant is this? This is, what is it? Chop House? Charter House? What is this? Fogo de Chop? all right, okay. I was looking at y'all menu. All right, I see them. The prices. You know, them prices. Them prices pretty expensive. Can we? You know, I can't afford a $60 steak. Can we break that down to $30? I be looking at that phone like, what? No, the price is the price. Can't negotiate with you. You can't negotiate. How you negotiate when it comes to your body looking? And if you wanted to look its best, you want to pay the best. But if you want it looking like $5, $10, $20, well, you get what you pay for. And that's exactly what it's going to look like. But I digress. What do I know? Who am I? You're going to get what you pay for. I mean, but good luck with that, Chief. I see why you look the way you look. Good luck. But that's what it is. And you know, we're not negotiating that. Figure it out. Because if I constantly negotiate that, then I'm devaluing myself. Right. So that just can't work out for Sean. It is what it is. Then, you know, this is not the place for you. But you know what? When you get your chips right, you know, get your paper right, then holler at me. We'll talk. Well, we can't talk because this is what it is. Fitness is sacrifice and commitment to oneself. You have to sacrifice for what you want. And one thing I love about fitness is that you can't steal nobody's body. You got to work for it. You can't steal muscles. You got to work for it. You got to put in the work. And it's not going to come no other way. Oh, you can get stuff sucked out of you and implants and all these other things, but that ain't going to get that body looking the way it need to look. You got to do that work. Sorry to bust your bubble, but you got to do the work. It's just not going to change no other way. You have to do the work, my friend. You got to do the work. But that's all I got, man. Man, I be trying to get up under an hour. I just can't never make it. But listen, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Everything streams there to my YouTube channel as well, Gwen's Boys Mindset. Please subscribe, please subscribe, please subscribe. There's lots of videos over there you probably haven't seen. So please go subscribe, you know. You can follow me on Tailor Made Training for You, my business page, my personal page, Sean Taylor, FIMP. If you want to have a group to where there's no judgments and, you know, FIMP, for imperfect, non-judgmental people only. You know, my podcast, my videos, my posts, they are not for the perfect people. They're for the people who are perfectly imperfect. They're for the people, you know, it's not for the haves, but it's for the have-nots. It's for the people who, you know, people have written them off. It's for the people who are trying to still figure out this life stuff. It's for the people who aren't perfect. I'm not, when I speak, when I make posts, it's not for the people who are perfect. It's not for the judgmental people. You people I'm not trying to even deal with or recognize, because you guys are perfect and you got it all figured out. I'm not talking to you. You have no problems. I'm not talking to you. You judgmental as hell. I'm not even remotely talking to you, because you got all the answers. These for the people who aren't perfect. My podcast for the people who don't have all the answers. My podcast are for the people who are looking for something different. It's not for the perfect people. It's not for the people who've never done no wrong in their life. It's not for the people who's never made a mistake. It's not for you. It's for the perfectly imperfect. But that's it, man. Please subscribe. Gwen's Boys Mindset. Follow me. You know what I'm saying? Podcast at least 3 to 4 times a week. I got to get with my boy Brandon. We definitely got to hit him up sometime tomorrow. I'll see him today. We'll square that up. I don't know what our topic's gonna be, but I'm sure it's gonna be on Brandon's show. I'm sure he's gonna come up with a topic because the brother is nice with it. So anyway, like I say at the end of every segment, but I'm gonna leave you with a final thought. If you want different in your life, in any area of your life, I would strongly behoove that you change the way you think. If your mindset isn't right, the rest don't matter, good people. I cannot stress that fact enough. Don't sleep on that thing that sits in between your shoulders. Don't sleep on it. Change your mind, changes your life. But like I said at the end of every segment, I'll start judging people once I'm perfect too. But since I'm in no danger of ever becoming perfect, you'll never have to worry about this brother ever judging you, period. You can write that check, take it to the bank. It's never going to come back void. It's not going to even bounce on you. That check on cash straight through. You ain't even got to call in the bank. Oh, this check is blah, blah. No, you ain't got to do all that. It's there. I don't do judgments. I don't do judgments. I don't judge people. And I don't deal with people who do judge people. Not in my camp. Sorry. Y'all take them judgments and do what you want to do with it over there. But that's it, man. Eat to live this weekend. Don't live to eat. Remember, eat to live this weekend. Don't live to eat. Remember, Monday's coming right around the corner. Have a positive day. Everybody have a safe weekend. And I will catch you guys on the flip. Peace.